what makes something valuable, especially collectibles? Obviously scarcity. Back when Pokemon came out, it wasn't super popular. A majority of the people were opening all these packs they were getting. There's very few people telling themselves, you know what, I'm gonna hold on to this for like 20, 30 years. Majority of those vintage packs were opened, lost, burned, ripped up, whatever, gone. The population on those cards are very low, and that's why they have the values that they do.
After 91 years, there was a rule that the president cannot fire heads of other agencies, like the FCC, the FTC, the Federal Reserve. Well, guess what? They just voted on that. Passed. 6-3 vote.
We all loved BlackBerries back in the day. I loved my BlackBerry, but they are a very serious company. They basically have no debt. They make money. They are, going into AI robotics.
Meta is crushing right now. They just hired the co-founder of Virtue AI, which is like a super intelligence for security. And then they acquired a 20% stake for $900 million in this company called Cred, which is an Indian fintech company. And they acquired that for WhatsApp. Welcome back to another episode of The Market Take, breaking down what's happening around the world in the markets and in crypto.
And if you like being informed about this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you do watch our content and you're not sure if you're subscribed, please double check. A lot goes into making these videos, and we get super motivated when we see that people are interested. So yeah, thank you.
Guys, this guy sniped me on eBay for $1.79.
Here we go.
On my 1998 Alakazam no rarity star on the bottom right.
Oh my.
And then I top blasted a modern Pika Gengar card for $4,800. And then I looked at the last sales today, like 4 of them sold for like $3,900.
Jesus.
Lost like $1,000 on that card immediately.
I was looking at because I was looking at some older cards that I still find pretty cheap. Man, vintage. Guys, I have a bone to pick with Pokemon right now, and you guys are not gonna like what I'm about to say. All right. Well, before we get into that, those old made cards, old made Pokemon cards.
Oh yes,
booming.
Yes. Yeah. Did you see somebody in New Jersey just got robbed? Like for 3 or 4 of them that are worth like $150K.
I don't think we're talking about the same cards.
We are.
Old made.
The Pokemon cards?
Yeah.
The ones that look like almost like hand art?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
150K? Which one's 150K?
Bro, have you seen the market on everything lately? He got stolen 3 of them that were like 150K worth. It's like going viral in the Poke world right now because everyone's putting not PSA, well, I guess, yeah, public service announcements on those slab numbers right now. Yeah, but I know what cards you're talking about.
I just didn't know.
They're like
one
blue and red. They look like hand drawings. Yeah. Like they're really pretty, like kind of Japan art style, like old art style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the Gengar ones were like a PSA 10 were going for like $60 a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, around 60, 55, 60 for PSA 10. Now they're 120. But I want to know which. It's got to be like a super limited old made card that's going for 150K. Anyways, guys, I think Pokemon's at the top. Okay, I think Pokemon is at the tippy top, and let's explain something. Okay, I came across a video earlier today, and it made total sense to me, right? On how like the values you see, especially like on modern sets, are just like banana zone euphoria. The same thing that you saw during like the the NFT run. And don't sit here and try to tell me, oh, you can't compare NFTs to Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards been around a lot longer. You guys seem to forget how much money was fucking flowing through NFTs. Excuse my language. Yeah. Like we're talking like easily billions in volume going through NFTs. We had Bored Apes selling for $450K per NFT, and that was the floor.
Can we zoom in on this volume chart on the Pokemon volume right now?
Yeah, what is it, like 2 point something billion?
No, it's
or trillion?
more than that. No, it's 679 million.
I said 2.2 billion. Is it 660 million or billion?
Million.
Million?
Yeah. Well, this is on Card Ladder's app, so I mean, it could be more. I don't know.
But anyways, now what makes something valuable, especially collectibles? Obviously, scarcity. Okay. We have to realize something. Back when Pokemon came out, it wasn't super popular. And, well, it was popular, but not like what it was today. And a majority of the people, especially being it like this new novel thing, were opening all these packs they were getting. There's very few people saying that or telling themselves, you know what, I'm going to hold on to this for like 20, 30 years because I think it's going to be worth something. Majority of those vintage packs were opened, lost, burned, ripped up, whatever, gone. The population on those cards are historically just super low, very low. Yeah. And that's why they have the values that they do. Now, what are the most popular, Illustrator rare cards today? That Charizard from Phantasmal Flames.
Yeah, which they're still printing.
Which has a population of 30,000 in a PSA 10. Yeah.
That card I got sniped on has a population of 238, bro. The guy sniped me by $1.79, and this was... To be fair, I was having a good time.
Yeah,
I was,
No, I hear you. You get all fucked up, and you love to. I mean,
what? No, I was into sauna.
Oh, I bet you have a little martini or two, and you like to hit the whatnot,
whatever,
or the eBay. I hear you. I like to do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? But get a little liquored up, feel a little good. And make some bets on some cards. Scream at the streamers. Hey! Yell at them. Put my fucking card away. Pack it up nice. You're all drunk. You ordered something nice. Anyways, I'm rambling.
Yeah, moved along.
But anyways.
Ari Gold, if you're watching this, I blame you for the top here, buddy. Because you told me it was a good deal on the Pika Gengar.
Yeah. But anyways, back to my point, guys.
Yeah.
I personally think, and this is going to transition to what I'm about to say about sealed collection too. It's the same thing. I think you guys are absolutely nuts buying these modern art cards for the price that they're at right now. Like simply nuts. It just from a fundamental perspective, like there's just no way or it being sustainable of them holding the price. Granted, the demand is insane.
Can I add into that real quick, though? You mentioned the population on them. What's going to happen when PSA fills that huge backlog, when CGC fills their huge backlog, when Tag and Beckett, because everyone's backlogged. Mm-hmm. So people are estimating that for them to finish all that probably will be around February when the market will get dumped with a ton of more population on all that modern shit. Mm-hmm. It's time to rotate modern to vintage.
And not to mention, and even more like, let's just say, everyone that buys these cards at these high prices, right? And they hold on to them for 10 years. You still got 30,000 people holding them on for 10 years and then selling them all again at 10 years later at that price. To me, they're just they're not scarce stuff. And this brings me back to sealed collections too. I'm guilty of this, right? Like me and Arthur have been hoarding sealed Pokemon cards, right? But this just goes back to the argument with vintage versus modern. Modern is getting the absolute tits printed out of it. The machines are running 24/7. They'll literally print a set that's a year old still printing, right? Mm-hmm. I think the only set from Scarlet and Violet that they stopped printing was like Scarlet is 151 and below, like that, But there's still like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think like 5 more like sets after 151. I think so, right? Yeah, somewhere around there.
I lost track. There's too many.
Yeah.
There's like 15 mega evolutions. But let's you got any more to add to this or?
Yeah, I'm just saying I feel the same way with sealed collections too. I think
so all those Phantasmal Flames pack, I've been trading those for slabs. So I've been trading into my modern sealed for slabs, only keeping booster boxes. And the only booster boxes I'm keeping are the ones with the big hits, which are like Destined Rivals, Phantasmal.
Yeah.
But even that, if I can flip those into some vintage PSA 10 slabs or some Tag 10 slabs.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. That took 11 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Devastating earthquake in Venezuela.
Two
of them.
back to back, rapid.
Does that mean we get more oil?
I don't know, but that I don't know if you saw videos of that earthquake.
No, I didn't.
But it literally leveled high rises instantly. It was the most insane earthquake I've ever seen on video. And people are saying so. And, listen, 1,700 people died, thousands of people injured, 15,000 people displaced without homes. Literally, dude, you'll if you go on YouTube or whatever, you could see like people filming from helicopters of like literally just high rises just being leveled instantly. Damn. Yeah, just one after another. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, it's like they got hit by a bomb.
So
no pun intended.
Terrible.
Huh?
So I just made a terrible joke about the oil.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man. I mean, it's estimated that there's about $4.7 to $8.7 billion in damage. Yeah, man. I mean, like it literally destroyed a city. Basically, it's in the northern region of Venezuela. But I mean, man, yeah, that was kind of one of the more crazier earthquakes I've personally seen. But yeah,
guys, if you're making trips to Europe right now, there's a massive heat wave going on. My buddy's in Paris right now. He sent me the temperature 108.
Who, Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. I'm reading
it's worse
this.
Than Vegas.
Listen, yeah, I mean, Vegas definitely gets hotter, but 108 is nothing to sneeze at.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm saying currently it's hotter there than in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Right
Dude, it's beautiful out today.
He said nothing to sneeze at.
Yesterday was beautiful too, dude. We got blessed with like 90s. But looking at these temperatures in Europe, I'm looking at it. I mean, to me personally or to us, it's really not that bad. It's just like when you have people that live in Europe, that are not acclimated to these kind of weather conditions and never have been because they've always lived in Europe, their bodies are going to react differently. And they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, because the WHO made a whole fuss about it, saying there's like 1,300 deaths because of this heat wave. And I'm like, that's awful, but it's like how are you dying in 108 degrees?
Are you guys not drinking water? Or
like what are you just sitting out there just smoking cigarettes and eating cream?
Yeah. But it's so crazy like how like the headlines on the news and everything too are making it, man, they're making it seem like it is like an apocalyptic event going on over there.
Yeah, well, they should come do summer in Vegas one time.
You know what? They do too. Like, man, I mean, here, especially in Vegas, a lot of people from the UK, a lot of people from all over, and they come during like the hot month. Well, a lot of them come during like May, but like the brutal months being like mid-July, August, they're not really out here. But yeah, I mean. But supposedly they're supposed to be getting another heat wave right after this one, like a double heat wave.
Whatever. I think there's bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, I mean,
if you die in 108 degrees, I'm sorry, that's just not natural selection. Like figure it out. Dude.
You know what I noticed too? It's like a lot of these places in Europe don't have air conditioning though.
Oh God, Ed's in the chat. Yo, you remember that place we went to in Ponza? The guys were totally cool with no AC. We're like, what? we're like dying in there, especially after like a whole night of drinking. Oh my God, come home and then we just got these fans on, but the fans are just spitting hot ass air.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's another thing too. A lot of these places in Europe do not have air conditioning. Especially like kind of like more rural areas, of course, but like even more.
I mean, dude.
Densely populated areas.
Get with the times. Go buy an AC. There's no reason you should be dying.
I know. It's 2026. Literally drink water. Literally drink water. You guys have the cleanest water there. Drink it. It's got minerals and everything that you need in it.
Yo, I got so off topic, but I got our reverse osmosis down to like the most cleanest water in the world.
do you
It's
mean?
like out of like a rating from 0 to like 600, it's 20. 0 being like retarded.
From
like,
those guys that came?
well, it was already testing at 58 out of 600, but I wanted it cleaner.
Would you buy a meter?
Yeah, dude. I went and bought a meter, and it tests for like the most smallest of particles possible in water. So our water is like twice as clean than like filtered bottled water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so guys, dangerous escalations in U.S.-Iran conflict. I'm already tired of yapping about this. We
Yeah.
already talked about it over the weekend in the chat. It's good. It's not good. It's good. It's not good. One of you guys just wipe each other out already. Let's get this over with. We have markets to trade. I'm tired of this. It's a wazi. It's a woozy. It's a
Strike
fucking
this, strike
it's a
that.
fucking kangaroo market. Just take each other out and be done with it so we could trade.
I just want to see a nuke go off.
Wait a minute. That's the most French thing I've ever heard. Ruckus just posted something in the chat. It's a news headline. It says France blames U.S. for deadly heat wave. Paris officials hit back at the mockery over the lack of air conditioning, saying America shares responsibility for record-breaking temperatures.
I know that shithole.
Paris
country ain't
officials
talking
hit
shit.
back at mockery over the lack of air conditioning.
France.
That's too good.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Well, fix it up. So, guys, we covered this a little bit over the weekend. And to touch back on what we discussed, 2 episodes ago now, Iran and U.S. were in agreement. Pakistan was there as a witness. Qatar was there as a witness. They agreed on 14 out of the 15 things. They opened up the strait. U.S. unfroze Iran's $24 billion. All was good. Netanyahu says, I don't care what Trump says. I don't care what Iran says. We're still going to bomb Lebanon. And that's what they did. They bombed Beirut and some other parts of southern Lebanon, I believe. And then Iran got upset. They said, all right, we're going to close the strait again. And then they opened it again. And now they are not in agreement anymore. It's just going to keep going back and forth. And I really think it's going to come down to who takes who out. Like, how many more times can they, say, agree, and then someone else is just not going to do it? Like, you can't. What are you going to do?
What's so complicated, guys?
There's only one other solution,
Yeah,
which is unfortunately global conflict, which I don't even think it will be. I think I don't see. I could be totally wrong, but I don't see the U.S. supporting this. Like, if it goes into a war, I see maybe U.S. posting up a front at first to try to stop it, but I feel like in the ultimate end, I just don't know if they will. I mean, I could be totally wrong.
I think you're a little. I think you're kind of. Listen, I think you're right. Do I think the U.S. will protect their financial interests? Yeah, of course. Is Hormuz a financial interest to America? Yeah, in some sense.
What's?
Yeah. But it is too, because oil, guys, we got to remember, oil is not just if your country has a lot of oil, your prices go up, and it's a global market, right? It's one price for all. So so the Strait of Hormuz becomes, kind of an interest to us. But as far as any other motive on why the U.S. should get involved, I don't think they will. You know what I'm saying? You could see, we saw Trump last week and Vance change their tone completely, did a complete 180. And what's coming up? The midterms.
The 250th birthday?
That already happened, I think.
No, it's July 4th.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh. But no, the midterms,
Yeah.
And it is obvious that that this Iran conflict is highly unfavored by both sides.
Yeah.
Especially on the Republican side. And when midterms comes up, you're starting to see the political game.
Well, speaking of midterms, we know for a fact that the Republican administration is completely down in terms of their projection to win the midterm. So unless they do something drastic or major, I don't see them winning the midterms.
I honestly don't see them winning the midterms either. I really don't. I think too much damage has been dealt. I think, I
think the only way that we support them is if everything that we talk about conspiracy-wise is true, that Israel is in the U.S. pocket and Israel kind of runs the world, and that the U.S. is just it's just a simulation. You guys know the Illuminati was founded May 1st, 1776. 2 months later, the USA was founded July 4th, 1776. You can fact check me if you want, but I heard it from my brother, Andy Frisella, my Lord and Savior. So I know he's right. So
that is kind of crazy.
And they say that like potentially that the U.S. was just created for like a tool for the Illuminati to like move money in the most insane ways possible. And if you look, the U.S. gives money to over 190 countries.
Oh, I know they do.
I think there's like 198 countries.
I look at U.S. kind of like the mafia, and they do that just so they have control over all 198 or some kind of influence. Mm-hmm. Because they need to strategically position themselves throughout the world for various purposes. That's kind of how I've been looking at it too. But yeah, guys, in other news, the DOJ executes massive nationwide healthcare fraud and fraud. I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
What?
The DOJ executes massive nationwide healthcare fraud. That was written weird.
Yeah, I think you just wrote it backwards.
Yeah, no, I wrote that pretty weird.
Nationwide takedown of healthcare fraud. This guy wrote down.
The DOJ is executing massive healthcare fraud takedowns all over the country. If you guys remember that YouTuber, what was his Nick Shirley, went to Minnesota and went to all these daycares and were questioning all these daycare owners on how they got their money. Or the money that they got from the government, and why is there no children in these daycares at all throughout the day or throughout various times of the day? Well, that kind of triggered something in the administration and in our governmental branches, and that had a ripple effect. So
I like that they're also going after some of the medical care professionals, because I think I told you about this, but when I went to go get an x-ray on my toe, and they told me it was going to be a $120 cash payment because I didn't have insurance at the time. I just walked in as a cash payment. I said, what's the cost for a cash payment x-ray? They said, $120. I said, okay, here's $120. Let me get an x-ray. So they also charge you, if it takes over the 30 minutes, you have to wait that long. There's like a $600 charge. Mm-hmm. And then when I came in there, I had my toes buddy taped because I just came from Muay Thai and they were in pain. So they were already taped. And I took off the tape for them to examine it. And then they said, do you want some tape? Mm-hmm. I said, nope, I got some. They said, are you sure? I said, yep, I'm good. Because I didn't want to pay for it. And then they're like, here, just take it. Just have some extra. So I said, okay, no bill, nothing, nada. Yep. Nope. So I leave. A month and a half goes by. I get a bill for $3,000, bro.
Like you were at the freaking hospital
for
or something.
$3,000. They charged me around $900 for a roll of medical tape and a pack of gauze that just had 2 gauze in it. And that gauze is so skinny, it goes in between your toe. That's how little of a gauze it is. It just goes in between your toes so you could wrap your toes. The same thing that I could go buy 900 of at Walgreens for like $10. So I get this bill. They say that money for the tape and the gauze. And then they charge me they said that they buddy taped my foot. And they charged me $1,300. I'm like, you guys didn't buddy tape my foot. I was literally there with it. Bro, I said some crazy shit on the phone.
I know you did.
Yeah.
You need to chill out with that too.
So I care. So there's a thing, what's it called? But like if you're a cash patient, they have to give you this written good faith estimate before anything. So I should have walked out of there knowing every single thing that I would have been potentially charged. When I called UMC, and I was, of course, Clauding away. I had Claude listening to the whole call, and I was prepared. I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm also recording this call. She goes, I'm not going to have that. I was like, whoa. I said, are you denying me something about about my medical records because this is a recording? Nevada is a law that allows this. And at the beginning of this call, you said that you were recording this call, which means I legally have the right to record you. Yeah. Are you going to hang up the phone now? And she goes, oh, okay. So what was your question? I said, all right, we'll wait till I punk you up, bitch. And I started out throwing lines of code, this and that. I said, you got the CPT code wrong. I need the HMO 11 of this. She goes, yes, sir. And I said, if I have another issue like this, I'm going to the CMS board, it's called here. And I threw a conniption.
Oh, my God. I love it.
But that just makes me think of how many people they get like that who are under insurance, who the insurance just pays. And then the people who get these bills and then think they actually have to pay that bill because they don't know how to fight it.
Bro, the medical system, the insurance is the biggest racket in this country by far. It is the biggest ripoff, dude. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy to where it has gotten. Like I walk into a doctor's office, I walk into a derm office, I walk into urgent care pissed off right away because I know they're gonna try some wicked dumb shit, and I'll lose my fucking mind. Like let me say something too, and call me pity, call me a loser, whatever. Oh. But let me say it. Let me just say it. No. Like,
go ahead. Sorry,
I'm not going to say the name of the business right now, but I've literally been a nightmare to this dermatology office out here that tried charging me some weird $100, and they were trying to say I haven't paid it yet, and they keep calling me and I just, dude, anyways, what I was saying was, they tried charging me this like weird $100 fee, and they tried telling me, that like, we can't waive fees that your insurance gives us. I'm like, and then I'm just like, guys, you're the ones that charge the insurance company. Right, the insurance company covers what they say they're going to cover, and then there's a remainder left. Don't try to tell me it's from the insurance company.
Right.
On the bill it says it's from you guys. And the reason why like I wasn't going to pay because I think they like fucking fuck my nose up or whatever. And then I had this dumbass billing manager trying to cite legal clauses to me, and man. Let me tell you, I'm just like before we're not going to go way too into it, but man, I laid into her super hard, and then what the next message I got was someone above her, and they're like, I am so sorry what happened. Can one of us call you at a time that works best for you so we could solve this? And I apologize how things went, yada yada yada. These people get out of fucking pocket, but. But going back to healthcare fraud, did you see that nurse practitioner here in
Las Vegas? Dude, it's 5:30. We got to hurry up.
I got to say this. I got to say this.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to have to skip 2 of the world topics that aren't important.
Yeah, that's fine. But did you see what happened to that nurse practitioner here in Las Vegas?
Which one?
Some Filipino lady, okay, Yuki, her name was Yuki. She was a nurse practitioner. Dude, she just got busted for a $900 million healthcare fraud takedown scheme, whatever. She mainly was in like hospice care, and she would do like unnecessary skin procedures to patients, like skin grafts and stuff like that. When you're in hospice care, you're like in a very fragile state. You basically have no immune system. She would have patients like die like a day later, 2 days later after these procedures. But she was doing these procedures just to pocket insurance money or somehow, or like upcharge insurance. She made $900 something million. This nurse practitioner, I mind you, okay, had a Ferrari 296 GTS. She had millions of dollars in jewelry. She opened up a hotel in the Philippines. She funded like $4.6 million in this beach resort in the Philippines, which is, pretty expensive over there. It's pretty cheap here, but over there you could get pretty glamorous. But yeah, I mean, yeah, she just got busted. But man, she was at this for years and years. Yeah.
And yeah, John, they did send it to collections, and I lost 62 points, and then I got it removed in like 2 days. It was a whole thing. Anyway, moving on. Let's skip over the Ukraine-Russia stuff. Let's skip over the homes.
Yeah.
Big one. Just when we think taco cannot taco anymore, Trump keeps tacoing it up. So guys, something really crazy got passed today that no one's really talking about. I haven't seen a chirp on Twitter. Nothing from the stock influencers, the crypto influencers. Not a peep. Weird. Don't know why. It's probably one of the most important things that happened yet this year. Did you guys see that after 91 years, there was a rule that the president cannot fire heads of other agencies, like the FCC, the FTC, the Federal Reserve. That's why he could never fire good old J-Pow. Well, guess what? They just voted on that. It passed. 6-3 vote. The president, all future presidents, can now fire the Federal Reserve. That has influence on the market. We're going to see something that we have never seen before happen to the market. This isn't to scare anybody, but this is a major, major decision. Like I said, guys, this was in place for 91 years. Why should the president have power over that?
Dude, we're veering further away from being a democracy.
Yes, we are.
This is socialism, or this is communistic.
I see Blaster typing. What do you have to say, Mr. Wisdom? The only man who's worked in real financial markets. It would be nice if crypto moves. Hey! I'll say this: we know Trump wants to pump crypto, so we like we've been saying, we got 2 years. So it'd be nice if crypto moves, so we don't rely on the FTC. Yeah. So anyway, guys, the whole reason why we had this was because basically none of these agencies should have been bullied by kind of who's in the White House, and maybe you using the word bullied is the wrong word, but if they have the right to fire that agency, then they kind of have a say in the way that it goes, because they can be the ones to find the people that replace the people that they fire. So there is one twist, though.
Well, they've always been able to do that with judiciary agencies, or for example, like the FBI, CIA.
Yeah, but that's a lot different when it comes to like monetary policy.
Well,
then you're kind of get into the nitty gritty because all those agencies are still in terms of like the safety of the state, right? So, and the president's job is the official title is what, chief commander or something. It's basically like the highest
chief commanding officer,
right? It's the highest ranking. So I get that, but when it comes to financial stuff, I don't know. I thought that was super interesting, but there was one caveat that Lisa Cook, for some reason, is immune to this. And she was actually one of the governors that Trump tried to fire a few weeks ago. Maybe because it was like too close, like, hey, like, you know, there was a dispute and conflict like a month ago. We won't count this person because if you do get this vote, then you can let go of this person right away or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was super interesting, and I'm gonna skip over some of the stuff just because it's kind of taken a bit, but that was a big one. And where did I also? Oh, I ended up excluding these from the main show notes, but there was also a few other things that happened that were pretty interesting. So it was the Lisa Cook stuff, and then geofencing, which they actually passed something in favor of the civilians for once. So if you guys don't know what geofencing is, it's basically whenever a crime happens. So let's say like Justin is over here at this table and he is unalived. What they'll do is do geofencing of all phones that were on, let's say, within a 500-foot radius of this area. Mm-hmm. So, and they get this almost instantly because, you know, from your Google Maps, your Apple Maps, whatever, yada, 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 even when your phone's off, they can get this stuff. But what happens is everyone that's in a 500-foot radius automatically becomes a suspect when that's never really been the way that the judicial system works. So they've said that this mass surveillance cast that they've been doing is going to be no longer allowed. So it's been ruled unconstitutional. So that happened. And then where Trump kind of lost something today and the Republicans lost is they were trying to overturn late mail-in ballots. Mm-hmm. Now, I kind of agree with this still standing if it's backdated, right? If it's dated before the last day, it should still count, and that's how it is right now. But the Republicans wanted that any mail-in ballots that came in late, they wanted that to not be allowed to count as a vote, even if it was dated, even if it was backdated on the day before the last day was. And I think that's just because of all the huss and fuss that they were doing, you know, with like the late mail-in ballots, you know, stuffing in the mailboxes and like all that stuff. I think there needs to be a better system, or obviously they need to stop the fraud of those late like mash pushes of the mail-in ballots. But I don't think those votes should be counted if they were done at an actual booth like before the actual deadline and they were submitted, but they got there late. I think those should still be counted.
Yeah. You know, I feel like we're at a point in technology-wise and us being in 2026, I just don't understand why we can't just vote on our phones on
with the KYC, right?
Yeah, with the KYC, with absolute exceptional security, obviously a government, you know, operated website with like insane cybersecurity. The technology's there. And it's so much easily detectable to see if there's any funding business going on. It's almost like zero proof. Or I don't want to say 100 proof, but it's like it's like, because like anything could happen, right? Like who knows what hackers can do these days, but like I think we're at a point where like we could do this pretty safely just from like literally our phones. There's definitely some safe software out there that can execute this.
Whoa. Fody might be a secret wisdom fundamental trader and doesn't even know it yet, but we'll get to that topic in 1 second. One other thing that happened, guys, that was in not in Trump's favor was Jean Carroll, who was the writer who accused Trump of sexually assaulting her, and then Trump sued her back for defamation or whatever, and then appealed the $5 million lawsuit. He lost, so he still has to pay her the $5 million. Yeah. So he lost there, but he did win in asylum seekers. So there was 2 immigration rulings that rolled out today in one, guys. That was for TPS and for asylum. So what asylum basically is, it's basically when people show up in the U.S. border and they say, hey, there's danger in my country, yada, yada, yada. They are allowed in, and they get legal protection to stay in the U.S. And then the Biden administration had basically like rulings to hear out every case to verify if somebody could stay or not. But those rulings were taking way too long to happen, where people who shouldn't have been there stayed there for years. So now they can turn away anyone that's seeking asylum at will. And then the temporary protected status, it's basically when your country goes to war. And if you're already in the U.S. and your country goes to war, you fall under temporary protected status. So that happened for the Haitians and the Syrians. Well, they've now overturned that. So there is no longer protected status for Haitians and Syrians, and they all have to go back. So that happened. Sorry, and that was kind of off of our docket, but those were just some quick political points that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I was reading about those. Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I'm pretty sure Justin said these words: BlackBerry, I like the stock. I like the stock. When was that?
Robert, I think I started talking about BlackBerry like maybe 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago? It's up 38%.
Yeah, I like the stock, man.
It pumped 10% today. And I know the Elite, you guys see that itchy on the daily? Bruh. I don't know why I didn't look at it.
Dude, BlackBerry. What
are they coming up with?
Well, let me tell you, man. So, yeah, Arthur, what Arthur was saying, you said, what, 38%?
38%.
Yeah, BlackBerry surged 38% as the company reinvents itself.
10% today, bro.
Guys, we all know BlackBerry as the old phone company that could have, should have, would have, but didn't, right? We all loved BlackBerries back in the day. I loved my BlackBerry, but Apple ate its lunch and quickly just destroyed that company. And for a while, BlackBerry was a meme stock. And kind of still is a little bit, but they are a very serious company, and they are very, very sound financially. They basically have no debt. They make money. They are over in 270 million cars as the operating system, and now they are not. I don't want to say pivoting, but they are going into AI robotics, guys. Robotics is another big thing that we're going to see in this world in terms of transfer of wealth. And these robots need AI in them, and they need an operating system in them. And a lot of these robotic developers favor BlackBerry's operating system, QNX. So that's why you're starting to see this jump in the BlackBerry price action. I think BlackBerry and NVIDIA and AMD are going to work hand in hand together in some aspect. But yeah, it's super exciting, and I love what I'm seeing. When I it's going to sound silly, but when I look at a company, right, there's like a few things that I look at, and one of them is admirability. Can you admire that company based off of their are they like, is their logo good? Is the name good? Or what are they doing? Do you like what they're doing? Do you truly like what they're doing? Does it excite you? This and that, yada yada yada. This is the same. I know it might sound really too general, but sometimes sometimes companies just make you feel good when you look at them, and they make you loyal. right? Everyone's a little Apple. Apple has a certain aesthetic to it where you just where it just consumes you. I think BlackBerry has a certain aesthetic to it where I think it wants me to. Palantir had this. Anduril has this for me. But yeah, aside from like what the company's doing, the company's financially super sound, and it's a great company.
I mean, you guys heard it from Mr. Palantir at 9, so I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't have said it better myself. So, moving on?
Yeah, moving on.
Fantastic. I hope you guys are listening. And, word to the wise, I'm pretty sure Fody put a fundamental play out on Link, too.
I did.
Let's talk about some of the other big stocks right now shaking it up. We talked about Micron earnings, right? We talked about the AI Supercycle, if it's still going to stay intact. So, yo, can you read that highlight that I just highlighted?
Wait, hold on. Which one?
What?
Highlight? What highlight?
Right there.
Oh, on the...
Yeah, why did it call you out like that?
Meta massive week, multiple announcements? Oh.
Yeah, but that's because I have Claude organize all my notes after.
Oh! Did it really say that?
Yeah.
Or did you type?
No, bro, I swear.
What?
It said
Justin has BlackBerry, but somehow missed Micron. This is wild.
I didn't write that at all.
Numbers.
It's getting a personality.
Oh, my God.
I need to shut it down. Anyway, guys. So Micron blew out their earnings, guys. They crushed the revenue. They did $41 billion in revenue. Why is this impressive? Because analysts are pretty spot on in terms of their earning. They were way off this time. They predicted $35 billion. They did $41 billion. That is really, really massive. Earnings per share, $25 versus 20% estimate. They beat the estimates by 24%. Bonkers. Gross margin up 84%. If you guys remember last episode, we talked about we need to be careful and watch the gross margin to see if that makes sense, because that's going to show the true growth. If there's growth or if it's a bunch of growth but a bunch of spending. Nope, they are showing growth. They were projected to do 74%. They did 84% gross margin, up 39% year over year. The stock popped up 15%, but here's where it gets interesting. Today, the price action on it was crazy. So Micron, and I want to get the exact numbers, the price action was so wild that it opened at 1,100, right? But then at the open, guys, this is where shorts get wrecked and it creates a crazy move up. After it opened, Micron dipped almost 10%. That's a huge stock to dip 10%. Dumped all the way down to $1,000. But if you look, it ended the day up 1.1%, which is so crazy. So if you look at that chart, everyone that was shorting that didn't cover is getting murked up. And that's why we see that crazy wick right there. So keep an eye out for Micron. It might impress us like SanDisk, if not more. And look how close that Micron is still to the 34 EMA compared to like a SanDisk. What that means is if price action is still trading relatively close to the 34 EMA, that your risk for you to find out if you're correct is very low. Because if you're buying close to the 34 EMA, it means if it gets under the 34 EMA, you sell. So your risk is small. If you're getting something like SanDisk that's way over the 34 EMA, you have so much room to fall down to even find out if you're right yet. And then if you're wrong, see you later.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for Micron. And then their data centers, holy shit.
Talk to me. What?
700% growth in their data centers. Not 70, bro. 700% growth in their data centers. And by the way, I was driving by Switch the other day. There was a crazy fire happening, dude. I think not crazy fire, but it was crazy black smoke. I think some of their shit was overheating.
Oh, dude.
And then, so what are we at? 550. Fuck. All right. So keep an eye out for Micron, a massive performer, and it keeps the AI supercycle thesis alive, guys. So bull market could continue in the AI sector, in the tech sector, in the stock market. Crypto is, I don't know what's going. We can talk about crypto on Wednesday on our live episode exclusively in the Stock Unlock Discord, where I'm covering Bitcoin and Ethereum for a half hour. And then OpenAI is considering delaying their IPO for a year. So that's great news for SpaceX since they have their AI angle, but it's great news for Anthropic if they drop their AI. What we could see is OpenAI play their IPO strategically and see what Anthropic IPOs and market caps at, to then think about their valuation and maybe approach it a little bit more strategically. But another big dog in the name, and this is going to be the last thing that I talk about before Justin goes in crypto. Okay, real quick, PCI came in at 3.4%. Inflation still sucks, but the GDP was 2.1%. It was expected to 1.6%, so the economy is not as bad as we think. But back to Meta. So Meta is crushing right now. They just hired the co-founder of Virtue AI, which is like a super intelligence for security. And then they acquired a 20% stake for $900 million in this company called Cred, which is an Indian fintech company. And they acquired that for WhatsApp. And then the CEO of Cred is now the new global head of WhatsApp. And I'm pretty sure they get a board seat now as well. But this is all happening because Mark Zuckerberg wants WhatsApp to take over China's WeChat and be an all-in app. So the reason why they bought the stake in Cred was to be like the financial platform on WhatsApp, because WeChat, there's like live shopping, just like TikTok.
There's everything. It's an all-in-one app.
That's all the Chinese use, bro. Every time I see Jack Lang, he's on fucking WeChat.
Dude, I've used WeChat.
It's sick.
To talk to freaking, it's like a WhatsApp on steroids, but to talk to like distributors when I was going through that little e-commerce phase during COVID, I was using WeChat. And
here's where Meta is keep making. So this is such cool timing because today I heard a podcast from Andy Frisella. It's the podcast that I sent you guys. He said now more than ever, if you guys are not consistently updating, modernizing, comparing yourself to the competition, dominating the competition, you're going to get destroyed with all the crazy shit that's happening right now. So Meta is trying to fight with Netflix now, getting into the long format, bro. And they have a lot of goddamn money, way more money than Netflix. It could get crazy. And then hold on. Have you driven by the UFC offices lately?
I texted you about it the other day.
Yeah. So the UFC, Meta just got naming rights to the UFC Apex office. For anyone that's not a Vegas local, the UFC headquarters is in Vegas. Right next to that, they have the UFC Apex, where the fighters train at, where they have the UFC fight nights at the UFC Apex. Meta just agreed to a 5-year deal with them. And they're paying for the renovation and then adding another 1,000 seats to the Apex. They're adding a bunch of tech experiences, a bunch of AI shit, a bunch of crazy screens, a bunch of stuff. And then they just dropped some crazy glasses, which I'm about to get, because that's about to be the secret upcoming trend is Meta POV glasses. I'm all over it. I'm ahead of the game. But anyway, they just dropped some Meta glasses. Hold on. They just dropped some Meta glasses with Kylie Jenner too. They just introduced a newer model that's even better than any of their other models. And then they just introduced a Meta glasses with AI for $299. That's better. Well, they're saying that's better than Apple's Vision Pro. That's $3,600. And they're saying that their shit will destroy Apple's. And I agree, because have you used Siri or Apple Intelligence, it
know.
still doesn't know where I live, bro.
I
It
know.
still can't understand a simple text message.
It's terrible.
It's the worst.
It's not even AI.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
No,
I was hot.
I know it's like no. I'm saying, dude. I see a lot of content with Meta glasses. A lot of people film like POV pranks, whatever, or whatever videos with the Meta glasses for sure. I even saw a shootout with Meta glasses, like in the hood.
Elliot.
And they were giving you like a play-by-play of what was going on too. It was so crazy when they were editing it. Like oh my god, my gun jammed here. I have to reload real quick. And it was like a straight up 1v1 shootout in the hood. It was so funny. But yeah, should we get into crypto?
Yeah, let me tell Elliot.
Jeez.
This is about to be the way that you get a Michelin star. You gotta trust me on this one, bro. I'm so certain. I just sent you this video on Instagram. Check this guy. He's just a sous chef. He got 225K followers in a week and a half just using the Meta glasses POV in a high stress environment, cooking away. And now with how Michelin goes after stars in this new modern era, unfortunately, your social media presence has a big influence on it. This guy's getting 30 million views on some videos. It is insane. And it's just so soothing. He's not like stressed out,
bro.
But it's just a
I
high-paced
watch
environment.
those kind of videos all the time. It's therapeutic for me.
Dude.
It is.
Elliot, I'm telling you, try it. Don't stop. Dude, he has 6 videos up, bro. Just watch them and try to do the same thing.
They're therapeutic.
If you get a Michelin star, I always want a seat in the house. I want a table held for me all times. All right,
that's kind of what I do before bed. To be honest, I watch those videos. It's really soothing, very soothing. But yeah, I guess let's get into crypto. I'm gonna gloss over crypto real quick, man. Like I'm not gonna go over all this, but yeah, guys, crypto is bear. But you know what that means. Anyways, Bitcoin's heading into a rare back-to-back quarterly loss. Very rare for Bitcoin to be doing that. Is that raising red alerts? Could be not. But here's the thing I'm going to say, guys. Right? Like, this is every bear cycle when I read headlines like these on why something is the way that it is, and it's all doom and gloom. Crypto's never coming back. Oh my God, we're going lower. We could go lower, yeah. But at the end of the day, 59K is an amazing average for Bitcoin. 1,600, 1,500 for Ethereum is an amazing average.
That's where I did my gig along at.
Yeah,
was 1,500 ETH.
Yeah,
time.
like these are insane. This is just history repeating itself, guys. The opportunities in front of you. Like, let's stop hopping between sectors when they're hot, like it's a dick, and.
That has to be a real.
and stick to the fundamentals, honestly. Okay? Like all I've been doing for the past 2 months is just DCAing weekly, and not even a lot, dude. Just so I'm getting exposure on this good average. Can we see a 40K BTC? Can we see a 1,200 Ethereum? Dude, very freaking possible. But at the end of the day, guys, this is the time where you need to be positioning yourselves, and obviously not overexposing yourselves where you're stressing about it because you put too much money in. But this is the time to be positioning yourselves. Like I'm not. This is not financial advice, by the way. Definitely not.
You have to buy Bitcoin.
like it's irresponsible if you don't, in my opinion. Yeah, anyways, guys, Kraken is eyeing a 15% stake in Aave. Guys, you remember we talked about Aave like literally 2 months ago on that exploit that they had that literally almost crippled the altcoin market. Because, guys, what's Aave? It's a huge DeFi platform where you could stake, yield, borrow, this and that, lend, but yada, 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 yada. Anyways, Aave tanked because of that. But just like I said back then, man, Aave was such a go-to platform when it was hot, and it still is, and companies are still bidding on it, and Kraken wants 15% of it. I think Kraken's going to be one of the main railways that's going to bring traditional finance into crypto, and they're gonna use Aave to facilitate that. So keep that in mind. However, the amount that they that they're paying for the stake is way overvalued in a lot of people's opinions. So don't expect like a sudden jump in price or any price movement at all. This could definitely be like a very like long-term thing. Bitmine and SharpLink fund a new Ethereum research lab. Guys, if you don't know, the Ethereum Foundation is in complete total, no, I wouldn't say chaos, but just turmoil. Yeah. Right? You have people that, by the way, I'm about to say board, but like Dana White sits on the Meta board. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does.
Oh wait, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happened like a year ago.
That's why you're gonna see a bunch of UFC meta stuff happen.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, guys, the Ethereum Foundation is pretty much in a lot of turmoil. There's founders, directors, board members or whatever, falling off, leaving, this, that, yada yada yada. But however, Bitmine and SharpLink, the two major institutional buyers of Ethereum, are I wouldn't necessarily stepping in and replacing them, but kind of working alongside them to make sure nothing bad happens. And I don't think anything bad. I think ETH is too big to like just completely kaput, but never say never. Yeah. But they're stepping in to make sure ETH advances in the future, becomes better, becomes faster, is used for all the right things, used for traditional finance, and is one of the homes for that. And I feel the same, by the way, I feel the same way about Solana.
I mean, you have more people working on ETH than Bitcoin, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. And then, guys, the first Fannie Mae backed Bitcoin mortgage has closed in the United States. A couple in Michigan bought their first home by pledging Bitcoin as collateral instead of selling it, making it the first Fannie Mae backed mortgage using crypto in U.S. history. Borrowers can pledge BTC or USDC without triggering capital gain taxes with no margin calls, even if price drops. That's kind of cool, actually. But yeah, Better Mortgage is projecting $250 million initial loan volume with a nationwide rollout plan for this summer. Coinbase and OKX are going after the Euro customers. So because Binance's MiCA license expires July 1st, and
I'm sorry. Did you say the capital gains tax part or no?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not sure if you guys all heard that because no one said anything in the chat. That's effing bonkers. You can borrow Bitcoin. I'm sorry. You can pledge your Bitcoin to take a loan or your USDC without triggering capital gains. That's effing massive.
That's just another way to borrow against your money without taxes.
That's fantastic.
I know.
It's huge, guys.
That's a huge financial vehicle for you crypto holders.
That's almost a financial advisor.
But yeah, it looks like Coinbase and OKX want to eat Binance's lunch because their MiCA license is set to expire July 1st. I'm not sure how that works, if they have if it's easy to renew or not.
The MiCA?
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. There's a bunch of these exchanges licenses are about to expire because they're changing up a lot of the laws right now. So, just one more thing before we really wrap up, guys. What Justin was saying about Bitcoin and ETH, this is my 10th year now officially in the space.
Yeah.
For Justin too.
Yeah.
I've kicked myself in the face so many times for not buying when it was low that I've obviously have changed that ever since. You guys have seen me posting in the long-term channel since 2022, 2021. But I have seen the story from hundreds and hundreds of people. And I'm sure you guys watching, you guys in the chat right now have kicked yourself so many times for why not buy when it was 40% off? Why not buy when it was 50% off? You remember when we talked about the stock market, I said that all the big banks and financial institutions start hammering the big names when they go below 30%. 30, 40, 50%, they hammer, hammer, hammer. If you guys listen to that, if you guys listen to my opinion when I said that, you guys would be up massive because all those things just pump crazy. But I've just seen it so many times. Speaking from experience, there are so many, a different thing, but so many Pokemon cards I saw 2 years ago. I'm like, these are good buys. Didn't do it. When ETH was $50, I should have bought more. I didn't do it. I'm sure you guys have so many stories of things that you've seen that were so cheap that you had an instinct on. Oh, here's one. You guys know the car markets have been going crazy, including manual transmission stuff and anything V8, V10, the older cars, because a lot of these companies are making EVs. Oh my, I'm so stupid, dude. There was a Ferrari F430 that I think, Jordan, I even sent you, clean, manual transmission, red, a Spider, a 430 Spider, beautiful, mwah, perfect condition. Sold for $97K. Now they're like $300 and $400K. I was literally going to split this car with my friend Louie, and we didn't do it. I'm so effing stupid. That's the second time I've done that on a car. The other time was when I was in LA in 2022. I said, I'm going to buy this 1970s 300 SL Benz. 20K perfect. Now they're 60 to 80 perfect. So stupid, bro.
Yeah, was it a diesel too?
No.
Oh.
No. So stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, that car was so clean, Jordan. The perfect 430. Beautiful. Still the original shine to it. Oh my God, it was so clean. That's because they were normally going for like 80, but this one sold at 97 because of how clean it was. Now I'm seeing sales for 450K on clean ones.
Dude, Jordan, bro, it's so funny that Jordan said that too. Because like me and Ed were he was talking to me like, yeah, man, I want a V, like a old R8. I'm like, old R8? Remember when we used to work at Auto Buy Store? I was like, bro,
we were ripping them all the time.
Those cars were like cheapest, like the old ones were cheap, 50, 60K.
Yeah.
Now they're $100-something thousand.
Especially the V10s with the manual gated transmissions, because there's, Anyway, guys, that's all we got for you guys this episode. Last little bit of advice. Guys, if you haven't hit the gym in the last 7 days, hit the gym, do yourself a favor. Don't be a piece of shit. Seeing so many people around me get sick, and losing your muscle tissue is actually one of the leading causes of so many illnesses, including Alzheimer's. That's it. Peace out, everybody. That's it.